Okay, this is the homework for problems 1 through 8. So there's problem 1, 2, and you got 3 and 4, and you got 5 and 6, and you got 7 and 8. So those are the homework problems 1 through 8. So let's look at 1 and 2 initially and see how it works. Okay, and these videos will be we'll just do 2 at a time, and that way you can, so it just doesn't end up being a real long video. So they'll be short videos, and I'll try to do quick as possible. But they are to give you experience with these different sections. This one here is a full section. Um, and full section means here's the cutting plane, and you're cutting all the way through the object. All right, there's the cutting plane. You're cutting it. It's like taking it to a bandsaw and cutting it in half. And this is what you're going to look at. Now this is just kind of a silhouette with some hidden lines and some faint lines, and what you have to do is go in and darken all the lines here and then put hatch lines where it's been cut. So let's go ahead and do this one, and I just use a straight edge. And so if I were to cut this in half with the bandsaw and look at this view, what would become solid? Well, the outside edge obviously would be solid, so we'll go ahead and darken that in. And I'm going to just quickly do it so you get the idea. And then the vertical outside is, so I'm just going to go ahead and darken those in because they'll be visible now, right? Whatever in a sectional view, whenever is hidden line will now become solid or visible. So there's the outside box that's visible. And then if I cut through, I know these two lines here where the keyway is will become visible. So they'll darken, go ahead and darken those in. And I'm just using my regular pencil, 2H pencil, to do this. Right, and then I got this other, I'm cutting here. Here they're cutting through a circle, through a hole, so that's cutting air. All right, nothing's being cut here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Then when you get right to here, you're cutting right through that hole. So you got to represent that here. So this is darkened in, and then here's the edge of the hole, like that. Okay, now there is a hole in the background, which is this hidden line, so that has to be darkened in. And since we don't have a circle template, you can just kind of freehand just kind of trace the faint line to represent there's the hole. All right, so there it is. There's the object. Now we got to add the cutting plane, or the hatch lines. Now you know the hatch line should be equal spaced and at a slight angle, usually 45 degree, 30 degrees, 15 degrees, something convenient. For the exercise, you could use the 45 degree, or what I usually do is just to represent, you can just freehand, and I'm using a different color red so you can see, and I'm just going to try to make them as clean as possible. But the hatch line should be a little thinner so they don't stand out, but I'm using a different color so you can see. Say there it is, and then the other half would be the same. Try to keep your gap between them consistent, and consistent angle. In this case 45 degrees, and then up here same thing. There's your hatch lines. When you get in the CAD world, there's a hatch command that put these in for you automatically. So there's the finished product for number 1, which is a full section, and your homework should match that as well. All right, so again, we're learning the concepts of what a full section is, and then you can use these as study guides for any future tests, quiz, etc. Now let's look at the other one down here. This one is a half section. And a half section, here's the cutting plane. You're cutting through here, it's cutting up here, and then there's only one arrow. So if this is a full circle, you're removing a quarter of the circle. Okay, so if you look at it as a piece of pie, you're going to have this quarter of the pie removed, and you're going to see this. This half, it will be as it is. It will be hidden lines in here, but from the center line up, it will be sectioned. So to do that one, I've kind of silhouetted the profile in, and we can go ahead and put that, darken that in. So there's your, you can just follow the lines. And darken in the outer as well. There it is. There's your, okay, there it is. If you took this profile here and revolved it 360, you'd get the full circle. And yeah, I think this has to go here as well, because that's the front edge of that. Now we go ahead and take your hatch. We'll just use a 45 degree again, and then go ahead and put the hatch in. Just do the best you can to represent the hatching, consistent angle. So there is what a half section would be. Again, removing a quarter. Say here's the full piece, and you're just going to remove that little quarter, and then that's what it looks like. See, there's one arrow. The one arrow shows we're looking this way. Where in the full section you have two arrows because you're cutting fully through it, and the arrows are pointing to the left, so you're flipping it and looking this direction. So there's 1 and 2, and that's it for this video.